Hello and welcome to this month's episode of Pro Spotlight, where we feature the tax pros, the people who make tax filing easier. I'm Christian Ortega, and on this episode we have Amie Blackburn, who lives in South Jordan, Utah. Amie, how are you doing?
Good. I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Amie, how long have you been an accountant?
12 plus years.
So what was it that inspired you to pursue the career?
All right. Well, I graduated from college with accounting and business degree. At that time, I had little kids at home, so I worked for H&R Block. That allowed flexibility for me to work evenings. Well, my husband was home. The thing that got me to study accounting and business is that my dad owned a small business, an auto body shop. I worked for him, and his taxes and books were just a mess. So I started researching it and decided that that's something that I wanted to learn. During H&R Block for the next 10 years, I worked myself up through tests and certifications. I worked up to senior tax analyst, which is the highest position besides an enrolled agent. I then wanted to work up more, so I took the enrolled agent exams and passed them. And at that time, my kids were back in school, so I wanted to expand my experience and knowledge out of H&R Block. So I started working for firms, family, friends, referrals, and it just went on from there.
How old were you when you started helping your father out with his business's finances?
20.
What was that like, being invited in and helping him out?
It was a mess. He had an accountant that didn't necessarily know what they're doing and somebody running the books that didn't know what they're doing. So I enjoyed working there. It was a lot of effort to put everything back together, and I hadn't been I was hired as a customer service, like the front desk, and I hadn't been familiar with books and taxes. So that's when I started learning it so I could help the business out. And then I just decided to make it into a career.
When you're cleaning up someone's books, what is the process like? Because I feel like a lot of people don't really understand the full scope of what a cleanup would entail.
It takes quite a long time. You have to, there's a lot of things that you have to contact your clients about to figure out what group they go into. And the hardest part is the year end, when things are in the correct spot. So it does entail a lot of work, a lot of research, a lot of Excel spreadsheets, things like that to piece everything together depending on what the books look like.
When you were getting that firsthand experience of how to clean up messy bookkeeping, for lack of a better word, how did you learn the right ways to do it?
I studied QuickBooks. Back then I had a CD on my computer. So I went through the tutorials and the QuickBooks education classes, and I kind of taught myself when I moved on from my dad's business. That's when I went back to college and completed the education on accounting.
And when you were working in public accounting, what was it like when it came to managing stress?
It's stressful, but I mean, you just take a breath and figure it out step by step until you got everything together. Like I said, it's like a puzzle, and it feels really good once you pieced every piece together.
What are some of the methods that you use to help alleviate the stress during the busiest times of the year?
Just stay calm. Stay calm and focused. And I do like figuring things out, so that helps a lot because I feel good once I figure things out. So knowing that I will reach the end and it will all come together helps a lot to manage stress.
And earlier you mentioned that you like going out, in nature, spending time in the outdoors. When did you first develop that habit of going out, hiking and enjoying the various activities that you can do in Utah?
Well, as a kid, I always was raised, brought up on boats, camping, fishing, going into the nature. That's kind of what we did as a family when I was a kid. And it's just something that I really enjoy doing, seems like getting out of the real world and taking a break from life and enjoying nature is one of my passions.
What are some of your favorite things to do when you're outdoors?
We have a Bronco that my dad, since he owns a body shop, he cut the top off the Bronco, and it's kind of like a side-by-side, but it's a custom Bronco. So we go four-wheeling in that. We like to shoot guns, go on hikes, just really explore, fish, boat, anything like that.
What are some of your fondest memories of even when you were younger or as an adult of being able to go outdoors and escape from the hustle and bustle of regular life?
So I really enjoy adventures, and sometimes when we go out, it turns into adventure because you never know what's going to happen in nature when you're back in the woods. And recently we went to Jones Valley, and it was muddy, raining, pouring. We drove a motor home up the mountain and got stuck, buried in mud, got it out, went back, drove the Bronco around. All my kids, my husband, me were covered in mud from head to toe. It was a little bit scary, but like I said, it's something that I'll always remember, and it was an adventure. So we really did the best of it and had a great time.
What are the qualities that make an experience outdoors a memorable adventure for you?
When it's an adventure, when nothing doesn't happen, then you don't remember. So, I mean, our stuff breaks down, we have to figure it out, or we get caught in storms, or one time we were camping, we were riding motorcycles actually, and the cow was hurtled right through our campground. So cows everywhere. I mean, just anything out of the norm that happens makes it an adventure.
So, Amie, why do you think it's so valuable that you live in a region where you're able to access the outdoors as well as you do?
It is very valuable because it gets you out of your house, out of technology. You just get to sit back and really enjoy nature, enjoy what the world has to offer. Here in Utah, we have a variety of places we can go to. We have like the desert, the mountains, the lakes, the sand dunes. Just getting out and experiencing a world than what technology and computers and everybody is used to. So it's a kind of a break from reality in a way.
And you mentioned that you got to experience all these adventures in nature when you were young. As a parent, how do you feel that having the same opportunity to take your family out and let them enjoy what you enjoy?
It is really good for them. They get off their electronics. They get to experience nature. I actually have some Airbnbs in Florida, Destin, Florida. I take them to, and they get to experience the beach. And so a lot of times they just want to sit home on their technology and do nothing. So it gets them out and exploring and learning new things and seeing the world for how it is.
Amie, how did you first hear about Taxfyle?
I found it searching on the website, I believe.
Just a Google search brought you over to the Taxfyle website?
Yeah, I believe so. I can't quite recall, but I think that's how I found it.
So what was it that prompted you to search for our platform?
Well, after H&R Block, like I mentioned, I started taxes at home. I just had a few people, friends, family, but I wanted more of a clientele. So I started searching and I found Taxfyle. And I really enjoy it. I like the fact that there is flexibility in your schedule and you have a variety of firms that you work with, a variety of people, and everything seems to be like it's a puzzle. Everything seems to be different. And I wanted to build clientele, and I wanted to build a lifetime of trust and friendship with my clients.
When you first landed on Taxfile's website, what was it about what our platform was offering that you thought was worth giving it a shot?
The flexibility, and I like how you can take on as much or as little as your schedule allows. So that was a great benefit to me.
Now that you've had some more experience with our platform, looking back, what are some of the other benefits that you've been able to experience by being a pro?
I get to learn a lot of new software, how different firms work in different environments. I enjoy the firms have all been great. They have great communication. Just learning and expanding my knowledge and getting to know people and clients really makes it enjoyable.
How have you been able to help customers that are using Taxfile's platform for their tax filing needs?
Well, I have been able to help by completing a fast, accurate job, communicating with the clients, letting them know why their taxes are the way they are and what they can change from year to year to have a better tax situation, explain how it works and kind of what, like I said, what they can do to improve their tax situation.
And there's a lot of DIY or free filing services, but compared to what you're able to offer, why can customers benefit from using an enrolled agent like yourself rather than doing the work themselves?
Because there's a lot of benefits and experience that you can see things. With my experience, I can help save clients a lot of money by knowing the deductions and the way that they work and what they can do to better their tax situation.
For the people who question whether having an accountant is worth the cost, why do you think having that expertise at their side is worth the investment?
It is very worth the investment because we are experienced in all different levels. We've seen variety of tax situations. We know how to maximize your deductions and credits. There is certain things that a general tax professional does not see, does not realize. With the education, it helps you with tax strategy and making sure that your tax return is complete and you're getting all the benefits that you can take.
And with your enrolled agent credential, how does your knowledge and the credential that you earned help out tax filers? Like, how can somebody benefit from filing with an enrolled agent?
Well, first of all, I'm able to talk to the IRS. So if somebody has questions about their previous tax returns or future tax returns, if they get a letter from the IRS, an enrolled agent or attorney is able to help them with that. A normal tax prep person would not be able to help with that. Plus, just continuing educations in order to keep up your enrolled agent. You go through everything year by year and you get to learn things that a normal taxpayer would not learn.
Now that Taxfile is offering consultations, how do you think somebody can benefit from scheduling a meeting with you before they file their taxes?
They can benefit scheduling a meeting with me to go over their situation, make sure that they have all their paperwork, all their things put together that they need in order to file their tax returns, and to know kind of where they're at and what we need to get in order to maximize their tax return.
Have you had any moments in your career as an enrolled agent where somebody came to you for tax advice and you've been able to help them out and make the complexities of taxes a little bit easier to understand for them?
Yes. So I had investment tax return S Corp. He had somebody file his tax returns from year to year and then got in touch with me. And he had a Schedule E, which is rental income, and it was completed incorrectly. It was counted as ordinary income. So I was able to recategorize the income and help his tax situation turn out a lot better than any of the previous years he's filed.
What is it like having the knowledge and experience to be able to help these people that need their finances reorganized and being able to do it efficiently?
It's great. It's a feeling of accomplishment. Um, I am very happy to make my clients happy. It's a great feeling when you can surprise them with extra benefits and tax deductions and get it right. It's just a great feeling on both ends.
Earlier, when you were talking about getting your EA credentials, why did you think that that was necessary to advance your career?
Well, it's credible with the IRS, and you need to be able to talk to the IRS in certain circumstances. And you learn a lot more with your enrolled agent. Also, more opportunities, more experience, more education.
Was there anybody or anything that specifically inspired you to get that, or did you just naturally know that it was going to be the right progression for your career?
Well, like I said, working for H&R Block, I had moved up to the highest level that I could without the enrolled agent. And I am motivated and always have an attitude to succeed. So I wanted to become more than, because within H&R Block, it's just their software, their education. So I wanted to become more educated and advanced outside of H&R Block. So that's kind of what helped me decide to get my own enrolled agent to grow and succeed.
Because being an enrolled agent requires you to get continuing education credits to maintain your credential, is there anything new that you've learned since you initially received your EA credential that has helped expand your career and how you're able to help tax filers?
Yes, of course. I learn new stuff every year. I learn new stuff every day filing tax returns. So the biggest thing that I've been able to learn is more on the business side and how they're put together. Also the deductions that businesses can take. I've learned a lot about partnerships and S corps. Before that, I did not have that experience because H&R Block is mostly individual tax returns. So I have learned quite a bit in the years that I've had my enrolled agent, and it has given me an opportunity to improve myself and improve my education in tax returns.
What is it like being able to continuously develop yourself and find new ways to hone your skills as a tax preparer?
It's beneficial to the client. It's beneficial to me. Within taxes, I feel like you're always learning something. Everybody's always learning something. You're always expanding your knowledge. No person's situation with taxes is the same. So it's helped learn and, I guess, proceed with complicated tax returns.
And how do you balance having to learn new topics and new deductions and everything new, that's new about taxes with the demands of your professional career?
Well, tax season is, as you know, certain times of the year. So during the off season, when I have some spare time, that's when I do all my studying. I study throughout the summer every year so I can improve my knowledge and learn new things.
Considering how stressful tax season can be, do you do anything with your family to celebrate it at coming to an end?
Yes. So after April, we go down to our condo that we have in Florida and we spend a week on the beach. So that's something that we look forward to after the tax season, just getting a break and spending time with the family, because tax season can be very demanding. And within that time, I don't get to spend as much time with my family. So I make it up by going on vacation after tax season.
And you mentioned you really appreciate Taxfyle's flexibility and how it lets you manage your hours effectively. During tax season, how do you balance the commitments that you have on the platform with the commitments you have in your own firm?
I work a lot of hours and I know that it's coming. So I try to get everything in place before tax season and I just work through it, work a lot of hours, spend as much time as I need in order to get things done. Also take my time so that things are done correctly, but I plan ahead for it. So I make sure everything's in line before I start my busy tax season.
Amie, is there anything that I may not have asked you about yourself or your career that you think is important for people to know?
Oh, I really enjoy Taxfyle. It's been a perfect balance for me. I want to build clientele and friendships, and it is the perfect fit for me. So I plan on staying with Taxfile.
Thank you, Amie. I appreciate you having the time to speak with me.
Thanks so much.
That was this month's episode of Pro Spotlight. Please be sure to subscribe and follow us on social media for helpful tips, whether you run your own firm, are an accountant, or just want to know a little bit more about how to file taxes. Check out our blog at taxfile.com.